My name is Jaime Gutiérrez Alfaro. I am a professor of the Instituto Tecnológico de Costa Rica. That is a public university of Central America. And my background is in computer science, but right now I am doing a PhD in Latin American studies. And this presentation is part of the work that we have been working on during like 4 or 5 years. That is the community of this study case. It's called Erizo, Juan, Santamaría. This is an informal settlement of the city of Alajuela. That city is located like 20 kilometers west from San Jose, the capital. It's we could see like a small place, but considering Costa Rica is like an interesting place. In this place, we have like 450 families, like 1,500 inhabitants. And this place is the result of that internal migrations of last century that were very common in Latin America. A lot of people came from rural areas to the cities collapsed, there is no urban planning, and we have as results a lot of places like this, informal settlements, favelas, villas, or other names that we have in Latin America. One interesting thing about this place is the soccer pitch. It's like in Spanish they call it La Plaza, and it's like this place has like 40 years of being occupied, and the soccer pitch is still an important element of the community. This is how the place looks in OpenStreetMap in 2018. And also we have here like this ugly name in Spanish, precario. Is like the worst way to call a place like this. It's like the most despective way of calling a place like this is like this, precario el Erizo. The name is incomplete and it's super despective, and they only have like this street and anything there. So I'm going to present the process of working with the community in putting them in the map, and how we were able to make that data, some of the data, official in the Costa Rican national map. I'm going to talk a little bit about the context, the tensions that are involved here, and then the mapping process and some final remarks. This is the place right now, a little bit of changes in the map over there. And this is like the center part of the city of Alajuela. This place is very near of the center, and we have a river over here. It's part of it's one of the neighbors of the community, and we have here one urbanization, and here 2 urbanizations that were part of those urbanistics efforts of the country of the late 70s, 80s to improve the housing conditions of the zone. This is like, let's say, like middle class, and we have over here another housing residentials that is a little bit more than middle class. We have here a commercial center. It's very interested in expanding this street over here, and also this one over here. I have seen plannings of the municipality where this street goes over here, like if there is nothing in the map, and indeed in the municipal map there is nothing. They are working on urban planning with nothing here. These territories, the people that live there didn't own the land. No, the territories are of the municipality of Alajuela and the National Institute for Housing and Urbanism. There is like there is a line over here that divides the ownership of the territory, and the municipality nor the INBU, is the National Institute of Housing and Urbanism. None of them want to be responsible for the place, because that will imply that they will have to bring access to some public services. So there is always a tension over there for the municipality, and specifically for the politicians. This is a place for manipulation. They just go before the elections, manipulate the people, and also they had been like going there to say to the people they're going to be removed from the place, but if they vote for them, that stops, and that's like complicated for the community how to deal with that. Also, these communities, the surroundings, they stigmatize all the problems of the city are here, and that's like the kind of problems that they have as a community. This is just what I have just said. They don't have, or they have limited access to infrastructure. There is basically no municipal or public investment here in this zone. This is a school, but this is segregated from the community. So the people, the surrounding people don't feel like this school is part of the Erizo. We also conduct a workshop here with kids trying to look for information about the workshop. And one of the teachers told that one child that there was anything there. And it was like, for us, was like, it was so impressive because after that workshops, we didn't get anything of data about the community. This public university is dedicated to science and technology, so we usually work with computer science students. We approach to the map from the tools. So for us, part of the interest in this kind of works is trying to understand how to improve the software tools. Specifically, we have been working with OSM Tracker. So when we decide to work with this community, we did that because we were working with children doing workshops, and then we stop and say, we have to do something a little bit bigger with a community near from us. Our university is like here. So this is our neighbor, and we go to the community to start working with them, present the project, the idea, and we decided to do it in a very horizontal way. We were not going to replicate that way in which the university is in a hierarchy with the community. We want to work horizontal. That's going to be, we decided that was going to be also dialogical. And we want to encourage in the community some critical thinking. We won't saw that project at that moment and until today, like just as assistantialism or a way of doing like a good thing in the community. And for us was very important that the result was useful for the community. So this is, again, the context a little bit. I showed this image before. It's like nothing, and the other commercial maps, Google and Bing, nothing. And we decided to work with the community to make the community visible. So why we map what we map? We have a lot of process of meetings with people in the community, in the university, in wherever we can. Because also I have to say, if you can see over here, we have like, I don't know how to say that in English, the mascarillas. We were in the time of the pandemics, so, the masks, yeah. So it was a little bit more complicated to work with the community, but we have meetings with them to make them, or we talk with them to understand how this could work for them. So we find out that there was a subcommittee in the community that they were working with the IMBU in a possibility of a new project of housing for the people of the community. So for them, it was important to map houses. And that was one element that we identify, and we start working also with IMBU. We incorporate them into the project. And that was for one of the first things that we mapped. And the other thing was streets and alleys. This guy, Pachi, told us in that meeting that he went to the one of the offices of the internet provider in Costa Rica, and the typical thing, no? He said, I want internet in my house. Where is your house? The people from the public service show a map. I don't see anything over there. So in that days, Apache was very mad, and we decided that we were going to map streets analysis, and that would be fixed. How we did it? Basically, we based on the tools of the OpenStreetMap ecosystem. This decision was more a decision of the group of the university than of the community. I think that they actually don't care about the tools. That's not the point for them. This is a point for us that is important for us because we think that it's part of the perspective of a public university. We don't feel comfortable working for other tools because there's like giving money to one specific provider and not to make it open. And I put here in red a little things where I want to step in a little bit. So we work with OSM Tracker, JOSM to edit the map. All the data go to OpenStreetMap. We use QGIS to create some maps and field papers. That's basically what we use. And we, like in the set of activities that we have with the community was a lot of field work. That includes children, for example. Free cartography workshops in the local school, as I commented before, on structured playful dynamics with children, like this. And this too is very important. We, after mapping the streets and the alleys, we make an election process for the people to decide the names of their streets and the alleys. I'm going to talk about this a little bit in the next slides. And also another methodological interesting point was making short videos. We make videos of the people from the community talking about the process, and we publish that on YouTube. I'm going to talk about that. This is part of the work. This is more documented in another article. So one of the elements here is that we want to use OpenStreetMap. OSM Tracker has an option to use a customized layout. So it's like a screen different regarding your interests of mapping, but was very difficult to use that feature by that time because you have to download an XML file to your phone and then put that file specifically in one folder and then look for that file in the app. So it was super complicated. So we decided with the students, with a group of students, to make a modification to OSM Tracker to improve that. And that's something that is now available in OSM Tracker. You can go and click, and just download the customized layout. And that was like one of the interesting things that students realized that they could do in order to improve the way we were working in this mapping process. This image is of a layout of mobility, but it's not the case. This is part of the work of mapping houses. As I mentioned before, one of the interests of the community was to include houses in the map. So we worked with IMBU. They were carrying out the census in the community, and we were there also with the students, a lot of them with the white shirt are students, and they were working in campus trying to understand. That was the first time we could move through all the community because we didn't have like a strong relation with the community. We were building that relation. So that's an important point because this kind of process take time. It take a lot of time in order to build that confidence. This is one of the videos. I will share a link to the videos, but there Alexandra talks about that experience of mapping houses and the relation with IMBU. This is an image of the cartography workshops with children. We use field papers and we use like an editing activity with post-its on the screen with children in order for them to realize how to share knowledge and share like their knowledge about the community. And as I said before, It was very nice, but we didn't get any information about the community, about the Erizo Juan Santamaría community. This is part of the elections process, and I think that this is a super key element of this process. We mapped the streets, the alleys, and then we decided to create like a electoral process for this little thing. And this process was done, I have to make a parenthesis. The usual way the community took decisions is like they go to the soccer pitch and start yelling. The one that yells more, that wins. It's something like that. So we decided to make it like in a different way, like to make it like slowly in a 3 weeks process, so everyone can make proposals of their names. So we make these papers and distribute it to the community. So feel free to propose the name you want for the street or the alley. We only advise people to propose names that were not names of people, and I think just people, because the National Commission of Nomenclature of Costa Rica advised us that if you propose a name of a person for a street, it's more difficult because politics and things like that always get involved. So with that advice, a lot of people send their proposals. 1 week later, we put some banners and things like that of the proposal that we received. And on one Sunday, we make like this electoral process. And it was, for me, it was like amazing because a lot of people attend to that with their ID and very enthusiastic about the process. For some people, it was the first time they were voting. So it was very interesting. There is more images. This is people of the community, like really, they get really involved in this. And there is also a video where you can find more info about this. And this is, well, the result. I'm going to go. At the end of the process, I'm going to get back to the process of the elections more in the next slides. At the end, we complete the map of the community as much as the community wants. There are some spaces here and here that there are houses, but the community or the people that live there decided that they don't want to be in the map because they have their reasons, and that's okay for us. We changed the name, we fixed a little bit it results that the soccer pitch in the previous map was the ideal soccer pitch, rectangular soccer pitch, and it's not the case here. It's a little bit curved. We update the names of the streets and the alleys and include some elements like trees. And also this data got into the commercial maps. No? You can see Google Maps, Bing, they also are using this data. And now I'm going to talk about how this data get official, no? How this data get into the national maps of Costa Rica. Well, we'll start making this process in the community. So we built signs using the same style and the same fonts, the same design of the municipality of Alajuela. The only difference is here, the logo, but we use exactly the same señaletics or signs there, and put a lot of those in the community. So the people of the community start talking about, oh, I live in La Paz, I live in La Amistad. They start using that signs also for things of the school, for example, if they ask for something. Also for access into services. At that moment, someone told us that the Uber now gets into the place because the street now exists in the map of the Uber. Also, she could send like the point in WhatsApp, the geospatial point for a guy that fixed the laundry machine. And I think that was very, very nice. But the important part in terms of the officialization came when we have the opportunity to present the project in the council of the Municipal Council of Alajuela. When we make these videos, those videos got to national press, and there was like some noise. We sent to some politicians the videos, and they were like very interested on what's happening in the neighborhood, because that changed the view of the people. You know? They all think that in that neighborhood was a lot of bad people, and they realized that these people that had been working for their own needs for 40 years, and it's like a beautiful place. So they opened a space in a session of the municipal council. We present a project, and at the end they approve the names of the streets and the alleys, and they request to the National Commission of Nomenclature to include it in the official map. That was also very interesting, because one of the requirements of the National Commission of Nomenclature is that the owner of the land has to approve the names. So when they approved here, they approve also that they are owners of the land, and that's very important. I don't have this in this presentation, but 2 weeks ago we have a meeting with the actual mayor, because they want to make some improvements in the community. They want to build like a little community center in the soccer pitch, in part of the soccer pitch. But it seems to me that they don't want. So they were like looking excuses. No, we don't know if this property is of the municipality or the other. So we took the map, we took this agreement and say, okay, look, you agree the names, and you say to the National Commission of Nomenclature, that it's part of the National Registry, that you are okay with those names, so you are the owner. And they were okay. It's okay. So I think that's working. In part of that process of appropriation from the community, we have like a second phase of the project last year. In the last year, yes, that was. We received a little fund from ILDA, that's Iniciativa Latinoamericana por los Datos Abiertos, and ANI, that is the Agencia, National Agency of Innovation and Research from Uruguay. And we tried to create an app with the community. So part of the process was that the community presents in RightsCon Costa Rica last year, and they create this brochure to talk about the right to be in the digital map. And they also create, with the help of the students and us, this map with the videos, and you can scan here this QR and you will get to the videos. They are in Spanish, but you can put the translations. And I think that part also was very important, because it was the community talking, not like this case that I'm talking in the name of the community. That was a space where the community, they speak of what they feel, what they want, what they would like to do. And for me, as part of this process, that moment was very special, because I saw the community speaking. I say, okay, this is done. I'm okay. So, well, final remarks. This case of Erizo and Santamaría is unique in Costa Rica. I think also, like in Central America, could be unique. And it's unique because it's the first time that a group proposed an open mapping process, and part of the process is contributed to the official cartography. There had been other efforts to make visible some communities in other ways, but not with this approach. And I think it's remarkable because I'm also part of the OpenStreetMap community in Costa Rica, and it's not easy to approach to the National Institute of Geography. So this was like a starting point, I think. I think that this map, this process is contributing to the community. We can see in the way the community is using the map. From time to time, they send me a message to, oh, do you know where is the URL of the map of the houses? So I send the UMap of the houses, because for them it's important in terms of, in case the project of the IMBU is reactivated, Also, as I mentioned before, it was important in that meeting with the mayor. One of the remarks of the process, I think we get the students engaged in the process. For me, it's very interesting to work with computer science students, go to informal settlement, and ask them, now, what are you studying? Okay, show me how this works here. I don't want to know how computer science works in Silicon Valley. I want to see here. And they find like ways. They understand that they could like improve tools and make things interesting. And finally, the participation of the community in RightsCon, I think, was a very important element that let us know that they are appropriate of the process. And that's it. Thank you.